Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. Yesterday wasn't great for the home run plays overall. We had some success with our official plays, which we'll talk about in a second. The reason there's a dog on here is because my dog is not doing well. He's been peeing blood it's been like weirdly on and off, and we've neglected it because he's been acting fine. My uncle's a vet and just said keep an eye on it. Today he wasn't eating. So we are going to go to the vet today, my uncle's house, which is 2.5 hours away. It's not convenient to have your vet be that far away, just as a kind of a baseline idea. But we're probably going to stay there for a few days. So I still plan on doing the videos every day. It's just going to be on the road, as we sometimes are. So wanted to give you guys that update that I still plan to give you normal content, but it's going to look a little different because, like I said, I'm not going to be at home. Okay, here were our official plays yesterday. The good news is we hit both of our dog of the days. We hit both Texas and St. Louis, and they were both nail biters, total sweaters. Feels good to come out on the right side. Garcia did not hit. Toronto won. The under in this game hit. Boston couldn't pull it off in the 10th inning. I believe they lost. So unfortunate there. Kansas City didn't win, but San Diego, St. Louis, and Detroit all won. So a little bit disappointing there. And then our home run picks, like I said, just were not on point yesterday. So we got lucky on these two, kind of got unlucky on those two. It is what it is. We are down 0.06 units overall since reflecting. Remember, we are down 7 for prior to the reflection. Everything else we're grading correctly. Let's talk today, and I'll tell you, it's a tough one today as well. Game in Chicago, I think, is one of the better spots now that I've looked through the whole slate. I lean left-handed batters on both teams. Perdomo, Marte, Tauchman. Wow, that's a typo. I before E except after C. You before C except after typos. I should have fixed that. Miguel Vargas at 475. These pitchers have been weak overall. Conditions are fine. I honestly think there's value in this game more than some of these other ones. Game in Milwaukee, pitching says look behind other doors. We got Paul Skeens and that Jacob Miserobi guy that's been kind of lights out. So don't love it. It's a pass. I do think Christian Yelich at 840 does have a little bit of value. Game in LA is maybe also one of my favorites. I'm optimistic in this spot. Rob Refsnyder, Abraham Toro. Don't play him on FanDuel in case he doesn't start. He is a switch hitter, and they are facing a lefty today, so Boston may choose to put a righty out instead. Just be careful there. Christian Moore at 800, a guy who hit 2 yesterday, 3 in the last week, against a lefty? Or I guess he's playing a righty in Richard Fitts, but against Richard Fitts? If the dick fits, you know what I mean? If the boot fits, if the shoe fits, hit the home run. Christian Moore, 8-1. And then Taylor Ward. I like this game a lot. I don't like much else. Speaking of not much else, game in San Diego, I don't care for it. Mackenzie Gore is pitching. Nick Pivetta is pitching. It doesn't look like a good spot for conditions. So Tatis at 450 is fine. I don't like much else. Game in Baltimore, you got Jacob deGrom. And, I forget who's pitching for Baltimore. It's a newer guy, Brandon something. Baltimore prices are just not great against deGrom, and Texas's prices really aren't that great either. Corey Seager at 335 and Evan Carter are my leans. Game in Cleveland, Toronto is back with Max Scherzer. Hasn't pitched since April, and I don't want to target him today. I think he'll come with some good stuff, so I'm staying away from all Cleveland bats in this one and giving them a red rating. And for Gavin Williams pitching for the Cleveland side, I don't look at any of these Toronto guys with much optimism either. Maybe Addison Barger, maybe, but I didn't want to write him down and kind of force something that didn't feel good. Game in Detroit, nothing on Detroit speaks to me here. Jacob Lopez is pitching, and there's kind of just some fringe righties on Detroit that may be worth a look, but again, didn't feel anything strongly. Lawrence Butler at 6-1 feels like a pretty good price, and Tyler Soderstrom at 7-1 feels like a pretty good price. But again, it's good pitching today, and it's average to below average parks today. So don't want to force it. Game in New York, Didier. What's this guy's name? Diddler? That's not it. Didier Funches. Frenches. The Atlanta pitcher is new and uncharted waters, so I'm giving him purple. Griffin Canning is pitching. I think any batter is in play against Griffin Canning, although he doesn't allow a ton of home runs. I'm just kind of unsure about the pitching here. Ozzie Albies, 9-1 has value. Brent Beatty, 7-1, I think has some value. Game in Cincinnati. It must be National Pitching Day. Everything I looked at, it was just these pitchers were good. Tough to get a read. Max Fried is pitching. Brady Singer's pitching. Cody Bellinger, Jazz Chisholm, Reese Hines, and Christian. I always call him Carlos. Christian Encarnacion Strand are my leans. Again, this is probably the best park today, but the conditions aren't glaringly positive. I was just kind of at a loss. Game in Kansas City. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's average. Drew Rasmussen and Michael Wacha are both pitching today. Both have been kind of but this is a big park. Salvador Perez at 520, I think, has some value. Are you bored yet? Game in Minnesota, I think, is red. I don't see a lot of home runs in this one either. Like, I love Tampa Bay's park, right? I love Oakland's park. Both of those guys are on the road. Then we have Minnesota that I stay away from, Kansas City that I stay away from. Both of those are at home. Plus the pitching, plus temperatures are kind of cooling off. And there's some high pressure. You know, I don't need to apologize for it, but I want to tell you, I'm not trying to be lazy. It just looks like I'm being lazy here. Don't love this game. Skipping it. Last games of the night, game in St. Louis. Pete Crow Armstrong narrative play here. Yesterday, he caught one for the second out. He thought it was the third out, so he didn't throw it in. And I think the guy tagged up from second base and ended up scoring, and they lost by 1. So he's out for blood. He's got to be. He's got to be ready to hit. Take all Pete Crow Armstrong's overs today. 450 on Campy. Michael Busch, 540. Wilson Contreras, 450, and Pedro Pajes at 780. I think this is a fine spot, but it's not awesome. Game in Houston. Here we go. I think Philadelphia could have an edge here, could have some bats. Nick Castellanos at 510, I think, is a good number. Trey Turner at 500, I think, is a good number. And if Wheeler has an off night, Pena and Altuve at 9-1 at their home park. You guys know I like that. So I think those numbers are good at their home park, even though it is against Zach Wheeler. Altuve hasn't faced Zach Wheeler, which feels bizarre. Like, sure, I thought for sure, like, wow, Altuve's old. Wheeler's old. They've never faced. It was confusing to me. Game in Colorado. I might be chasing Freddie Freeman at this point. 480. Feels like a good price in Colorado, but he's been kind of cold. Michael Talia at 630 and Mickey Moniak 700, although it is against Yamamoto, so be careful, tread lightly. I wouldn't play a bunch of Colorado guys. If any, these are just leans. And LA, I do think looks good against Dollander, but their prices. I say it every time. And then finally the game in San Francisco. Go play somewhere else. I hate this stadium. I hate this park. Okay, here are official plays today. Oh yeah, I need to fix this. Sorry. All right. No straights today. I really considered a round robin. And specifically a round robin with the Camby plays. So like Castellanos, Pete Crow, Butler, Tatis, and Seager. Not going to do it just because I have quite a few promo plays. And I didn't want to force anything. And I said I don't feel good about the slate. So we're just going to stay off. So for our promo plays, for our no sweat bet on DraftKings, we're going to go Ketel Marte. I got the whole 0.05 units down on it, guys. They accepted it today at that number. So we're fully in on that. For our boost, minus 3 legs, 20%, I'm going the over in the Boston LA game, over in the Arizona-Chicago game, and over in the Philadelphia-Houston game for 0.15 units. And then on FanDuel, they have a 30% boost. It's got to be 3 legs, so we'll talk about what I did here. I took Perdomo and Christian Moore, both to hit home runs. And then I'm taking the late game of Dodgers plus 3.5 for minus 3,000 odds. And it didn't kill the odds, and it let us do it. So what I'm going to say is if by some miracle, Perdomo and Moore hit home runs in the early games, and all we need is LA plus 3.5, there is a chance that I monitor that game and either bet pregame or bet live as sort of a hedge. I would love to hit a 95-1, guys. And if I hit the 2 hardest legs and I'm left with this sort of dummy leg just so I could get the boost, I don't want to lose on a dummy leg. So just keep in mind that I'm going to account for all that, but I'm not going to make a new video telling you that I'm hedging it, so to speak. Just be aware, right? Like I could probably put $20 on Colorado minus 3.5 and walk away with some good money. So just that's on my mind, and I'm willing to do that. Though hedging your bets is stupid. I don't want this leg in here. I have to do it to get the boost. We do have 2 free bets we've earned from the No Sweat, which we will deploy when we feel comfortable. So keep that in mind. We are banking those. We are down 0.4 units technically here, but we have 2 free bets in the tank that we will use. And I'll let you know when we do that. So again, thank you guys. We will be back tomorrow. It just will look different, but thank you for your flexibility and cooperation. Love ya.